Hi, this is Saintjerome of Crypto Experiences bringing you yet another crypto experience. Today is January 31st of 2024. Man, time is flying. We're done with January already. So I brought a podcast to you about 7 to 10 days ago where I unboxed a shipment I got. I think it was from Hero Bullion. It had some copper bullion on it, but the cool thing it had was some Goldbacks, and they are a legal tender currency with gold in the inside, actual gold. It's in a very thin layer. We'll talk about how that's made in a second. So that was exciting to get that, and I got a Goldback wallet so you can hold them in because as you look behind me, this is pictures of the original Goldbacks that they produced. First year was in 2019 and in the state of Utah. So we have a 1, a 5, a 10, a 25, and a 50. And one really great feature of this is that in the 1, you have 1,000th of an ounce of gold. And I believe in the 50, you have 1/20th of an ounce, a troy ounce of gold. And these are totally interchangeable. So they are fungible. Wow. And they contain real gold. So you have a 1, if you have 5 1s, it's the same gold that's in a 5. You have 2 5s, it's the same gold that's in a 10. You have 5 5s, it's the same gold that's in a 25. If you have 2 10s and a 5, as you getting this right, and then if you have 51s, it's the same as in a 50. Now these currencies, bills, notes. I guess they're not really technically notes because you're not owing anybody anything. They are actual, I guess, currency. They have weight to them because there's actual gold in there. So the 50 is quite a bit heavier than the 1, and it should because it's got 50 times the amount of gold. The process they do this is amazing. They have a set of polymers and it has artwork on it. And you can see that this is some of the first artwork, which is very nicely done, but they've improved it since then, changed some of the designs around, and it's even more beautiful than it was before. And the new ones are so shiny that gold really comes through. So they have a layer of polymer, and then they take a big gold shot or big a lot of gold, and I think I heard 50-pound block, and they put it in a vacuum deposition, and they've phew, send these little gold particles in the vapor like an atom thick, ding dang, and then they measure exactly how many of these particles fall on the polymer. Then they come by with another layer of polymer and seal them in. Run them kind of like if you see a printing press for actual Federal Reserve notes, and then cut them like that. And they come off like this, and they are very hardy and hard to tear apart. I heard one guy kept one in his wallet, and every day he wrinkled it up, and it still stayed in pretty good shape. You can give one of those to somebody and say, "Here, tear this with your bare hands," and you just can't do it. That polymer is thick. They can be cut easily. So I don't know why you want to try to cut these, and I don't know why some people have been burning them to get the gold out. I go, "Oh my God, that's not the idea. The idea is to circulate this as currency and use them for businesses and with something that actually has value to it. That's what the whole idea is. Yes, they've been proven to contain the gold that they say they have. Mike Adams did extensive testing on it, and they have testing done by a third party company that verifies the amount of gold. And every time they've been tested, they actually have a slightly more gold than they say they do. I heard the CEO talk about that they want to make sure that no one gets cheated and they have at least the amount they say, and usually it's a minute amount more, like maybe 0.03% more than what it is, but a little bit extra is nice. Now, if you take a 1 and you put it in like the kiln that goes to several thousand degrees and have the right kind of receptacle to, as the polymer gets vaporized, the gold remains behind, and in a 1 Goldback, uh, the gold is just like this little tiny dot, but it is a tiny dot because it's 1,000th of an ounce. It's like the smallest fractional gold you can have that you can grab. If you look at grams of gold that are worth like about $80 or so, they are so tiny. And how do you get it? smaller than a gram of gold. Well, here's your solution. The smallest gold coin I hear was from India, and I've seen pictures of people put it in little tube, and it's just like this little speck. Imagine trying to trade that little speck worth maybe 15, $20 for something, and if you, I mean, easy to lose. Here you have actual folding currency with gold embedded in it that you can trade for products. Now, these are so cool. I'm going to show you some more photos here and read a little bit about it. But they are legal tender in those 5 states we mentioned. Utah has an amazing business network, and it looks like they're over 700, maybe 800 businesses. And each state that's participating has a lot of businesses. So you can take your Goldbacks and go into the dealers they list on the goldback.com site and find somebody for pretty much any business you want to do. I would like to actually do that. A long time ago, I did that with Liberty Dollars. I found the map of Liberty Dollars on this most on the East Coast around Pennsylvania, and I went through. I bought pizza and I bought gas, and I thought that was pretty neat to spend alternative currency. Um, Now I live in the state of Illinois, and it's not legal tender here. It is legal to own them because it's just like any other bull. It's like a gold coin officially. So, but what I'm thinking, let me talk about some of the features here. So you have that gold, and notice the this is like straight up and down with the portrait, right? So it's portrait instead of landscape, not like the U.S. dollar whatsoever. Also, when it's straight up and down, it has a female depicted on the front and not a male. No political figures. Each one of these ladies is something to do with the history of the state that it's about. So all these are dealing with the state of Utah, and they have different meanings on each one as you go through. And I move my head, and you can see it like that. So, and like I said, a lot shinier nowadays. And here are some Goldbacks on the reverse side. You can see there is no image on the reverse side, but that makes it part of also very hard to counterfeit. Matter of fact, they've never been counterfeited. And the technology to counterfeit it is just not worth it. It costs millions of dollars for those machines. You'd have to have a machine to try to counterfeit it. If you're doing that, what the heck? That doesn't seem to make any sense, does it? So it's got reverse image. These have serial numbers on it. I hear they're going to add a QR code for to help verify the authenticity. And yeah, you just can't copy these at all right now. They're amazing. So anyway, I'm going to go back to Wikipedia. So its symbol is GB, which meaning Goldback. Let me grab that symbol. So here, folks, is the corporate symbol GB, and this happens to be a gift holder. So if you want to give somebody some gold backs, you can stick them in there. And let's see what it says on the back. It says, "Gold you can spend. Thanks for choosing sound money. Goldback.com." And there's a little GB there also on that. So anyway, that's the corporate symbol. Now back to a little Wikipedia. So this is minted by a separate company called Valorum, and they were minting different bills for novelties when the CEO of Goldback and that company came together, and they got the idea of wow of making the Goldback, and that's how it came about. So they are shaped like regular currency notes, but they have 24 karat gold. The gold is contained between the two layers of polymer, as we talked. We talked about what the values. There's been more than 20 million worth of Goldbacks have been manufactured and circulated, although an up-to-date market cap is not published. I'm hearing the people from companies saying there's over 1 million people now have some Goldbacks. I personally, because I'm in the state of Illinois, and it's not legal tender here, but you can use them for barter. I have given them as tips and explained them to the waiters and the waitresses what they are, and they find it pretty cool. I gave one to a fellow employee, a young man about 20 years old, and when those young people hold in their hand, they're like, "Wow, they'd never really seen anything like that before." Um, and the CEO of the company says that there are more people in the 20 to 30 to 35 age than any other group. Some of these old guys, like this guy, they don't quite get it. Now I get it because I've been in private. I was in private currencies before. I understand the value of circulating a currency that's not a Federal Reserve note. Uh, so it was launched in 2019 with a series for Nevada, New Hampshire, Wyoming, South Dakota. Launched in 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023. There are more states they have ready to line up. Rumor is Texas might be one of those states, and that would be amazing. The economy of Texas, wow. Texas is really, folks, an independent country that merged with the United States, but they have a unique set of circumstances that they can pull away as a separate country at any time. I don't want to get into politics now, but you can see some of that kind of coming to head on certain southern areas of Texas and the struggle as wanting to be their own entity. Um, we'll do a little pause. So the ladies featured on each of the Goldbacks represents a figure symbolically representing a cardinal virtue. Which virtues are represented on how they are represented varies according to the state series and region it serves. So, for example, liberty, victory, justice, truth, and prudence of Utah. Nevada is liberty, fortitude, justice, wisdom, and charity. New Hampshire depicts liberty, fortitude, foresight, truth, and grace. The Wyoming series depicts liberty, loyalty, trust, boldness, and reverence. And the South Dakota is liberty, honor, harmony, industry, and peace. Local legislation. The Goldback has not been formally adopted by any state government and is privately issued. In Utah, the Utah State Legislature expanded the definition for gold for legal tender, explicitly making gold with a polymer holder or coating is not subject to the state sales tax, specifically any metal that has a gold, silver, platinum, metallic content of 50% or more, exclusive of any transparent polymer holding, coating, or encasement. So, under the Utah Legal Tender Act, um, the Goldbacks have a big freedom, and especially the state of Utah. And as expansion continues, they're going to go to gold-friendly precious metal states. There's now at least 25 states that are heading that way or are that way where gold is legal tender or has special status. Unlike the Liberty Dollar, the Goldback has built-in features to ensure that Goldbacks cannot be confused with the government-issued legal tenders such as United States dollar. In order to avoid issues with federal counterfeit laws, each Goldback is printed with statements such as voluntary negotiable instrument for circulation in Utah, for circulation in New Hampshire, or for whatever state that it has. The text privately issued, not U.S. dollar legal tender, is clearly stamped upon the artwork of the bill. There's some criticism, but about the only criticism is people say about the premium. Oh my gosh, 100% premium. That's ridiculous. You can buy a 1 ounce gold coin and only pay $90 over for premium. That's ridiculous. Okay. Take that 1 ounce of gold when SHTF and go try to get a carton of eggs or a gallon of gas or whatever. Uh, can I have change for this 1 ounce of gold? Maybe you can take a pocket knife and we can whittle off some. It ain't gonna work that way. That's what's great about these. They're already as about as small as you can. I mean, we're down to atoms, folks. Yes, I'm a big believer in silver also, and junk silver has a place in barter, but a lot of people they're not as the younger generation, and most folks don't have any idea what junk silver is. And when they see a Roosevelt junk dime, which is 90% silver when 64 and below, they're going to think it's the same as a regular dime. So the Washington quarters, 64 and below, I mean, they're 90% silver too. They're still going to get them confused. Maybe some of the older quarters, like the Liberty and the Franklin has Liberty, um, walking liberties and the liberty standing liberties, and maybe even the barber coins, the Mercury dimes. Maybe those won't be confused as much, but I think they're going to get these uh, Goldbacks really fast and understand what they're all about. Behind me, I have kind of an up close look at a one of the Goldbacks. You can see it says not U.S. legal tender there. Orem, meaning gold by the company. It's got that serial number. And remember, when you flip it on the back, everything's in reverse. That serial number's in reverse, and it just can't be copied. And behind me is a sheet of Utah 1 Goldbacks before they were cut. So they come out on a big sheet like this. Now they've already had the gold atomized and placed inside of both polymers. Now they will cut these to make the currency out of it, the Goldbacks out of it. One real good, cool thing is you can get Goldbacks out of an ATM. Now, I believe so far it's only in Utah, and there's maybe six places in Utah. They look like they're around Salt Lake City, where you can take your dirty fiat cash and stick it in the machine and get these nice, shiny Goldbacks. Now, I'm not sure about what kind of fee they would charge or anything, but I find it fascinating. You know, I'm a crypto guy, crypto experiences by Saintjerome, and I'm fascinated that when I go and get Bitcoin or Litecoin out of an ATM, that is amazing that you take your fiat currency. Now, what I don't like about the crypto ones is they're generally over 20% fee, yowzer. So I played around with a little bit, but I don't use them much. But I think this is pretty neat. The name of the company is Gold ATM, and you can do that, find that on a search. And so I'd be curious on how this works. So, wow. Now, I don't have any pictures to go with this, but I want to talk about another service. So, if you go to goldback.com, it links you to other places. And if you want to find out where to buy Goldbacks, you click on that, it'll show you about 50 different places to go to. Well, one place you could go to, and I'm going to probably take advantage of this when I know a little more, is to Alpine Gold. And that is a site where you can go and buy Goldbacks, right? But you can also vault them. What? Yeah, you can vault them, and you ready for this? At 0% fees. They also vault American gold, American silver, like American Eagles, right? They vault those too, but there's a fee for those to hold them monthly. But you can vault the Goldbacks for 0%, and the spread on changing back and forth to don't maybe I'm wrong, but the fiat back is a zero. It's just whatever the current market rate. They don't charge a markup on that. So that's pretty amazing. I think I got that right. Now, why would you want to do that? It's like if but Saintjerome, you keep saying if you don't have it in your hand, you don't own it. If it's on a piece of paper, you don't have it. Well, there's a lot of truth to that. However, in a situation where you want to have some kind of digital access to some precious metals, this is a unique way. No fees, no vaulting fees, no fees when you do it. You can get, you ready for this? If you have 1,000 or more on deposit, uh, and you deposit 1,000 a month, you can link an Alpine Gold debit card, a Visa debit card to it. What? You can link an Alpine Gold Visa card to it, and you can use that card as you would any Visa purchases. Reading the website, it says that when you ask for your gold to be transferred to the card, whatever portion of that you wish, I'm sure you can break it up and say you got 10,000 in Goldbacks. I'm sure you could do like any amount you want at a time. It says it takes my business day to do that. You can get on the side. Now, if you go to the site UPMA and get an account, you need that account to be able to do the vaulting. That's kind of uh, this keeps track of all your storage and like that. And I find that very fascinating. And here is a facsimile of that debit card from Alpine Gold, taken right off their website. So here's True Link, and I'm Frank Jones. I'm not Frank Jones. And there's your debit card. And you looks like you can spend that anywhere once it's been loaded. So let's rehash that. You Alpine Gold and you store Goldbacks. You can have them like in a bill pay, automatically send a deposit every month. And then, like I said, if you deposit at least 1,000 a month, then you have no fees. or you don't have to have the bill pay automatically. You can just do it yourself. But I think it'd be easier to do the bill pay. You know it's going there. So what's the advantage of doing that? Well, the value of gold as it's going up. Say you put 1,000 and gold's going crazy. While you have it in the bank, it's gone to 1,100. And another week or two, it's 1,200, and it gets going and going and going. Wow, we're in a crazy rate. So it's kind of a way to preserve some purchasing power. Now I'm a little scared to keep things in anybody's vault because if things break down, I think you can probably kiss your vaulted material goodbye. I don't care where they're at. You think those guards are going to return it to you if things really go bust and the grid goes down? I don't think so, but I think it's a good way to have some of your funds and keep a little bit of preservation. And you can have these shipped back to you at any time that you wish. There is a shipping fee, but it's pretty reasonable what I saw. So, well, I thank you for coming today to the podcast. I'm going to do some more with Goldbacks. Matter of fact, I'm going to be doing an interview soon with a one of the company from Defy the Grid Gold and Silver. And I do have an affiliate number for that. I will put that down below and you get some off of an order. There's a lot of good companies that sell Goldbacks. You'll be surprised how many do. Ones listed have is like Money Metals. I've dealt with them in the past. It's a good company. JM Bullion, first purchase from them the other day. Got a few Goldbacks. They have you can kind of compare the prices between the different places. And then SD Bullion, they all that do that. But what is and they will give you a discount if you use crypto, maybe. And there's where the crypto experiences comes in. Defy the Grid, though, they're the only one I saw listed that they do not charge you for using your credit card, and their costs are very, very reasonable. Um, the other day, and they have these specials they flash too. The other day, I did not know this. I was watching Green Greg or so, and the CEO of Defy the Grid was on there, and they were talking about prepping and goldbacks and different things. And he mentioned the fact that he put Goldback wallets for 1 day sale at $15 and normally 25. I never heard that podcast, but guess what? I was a lucky guy, guys. I went on the site, went, whoa, $15. And I got a couple to give like to give the friends and family. That was nice. I got that. So, and they have very competitive prices for all the Goldbacks. So they're it looks like a very good company. Like I said, I'll put that affiliate code down below and you get a little discount. I've not used it yet, so you might be the first one. Don't forget that I have subscriber contests going. When I get to 440 subscribers, I'm going to give 20,000 Satoshis. And I think if I get the 500, I'll give 20,000 Satoshis. And I'm going to throw in something new now. If you live in the continental United States or maybe international, I'll have to think about that. I will send you one Goldback. That's 1/1000th of an ounce. So I'll add that and sweeten the pot when I get the 500 subscribers. But 440, I've got a reason I want to go to 440. There's somebody's got a podcast, kind of like a rivalry kind of thing. I want to get ahead of them on that. So if you have any questions or comments on anything crypto, on Goldbacks, let me know. Goldbacks is a new thing for me. I like what I see so far. And that premium thing, don't let those people get to you. There's some ridiculous people out there. So thanks for coming to watch the podcast. Once again, I have discounts for many things down below, and I'm going to add Defy the Grid um, discount. Thank you very much, and I'll be back soon with another podcast, hopefully with an interview with someone from Defy the Grid. Goodbye.